Happy belated 4th of July, everybody. I hope everyone had a great time Saturday night. Hopefully, the weather held up for most of you guys. I know here in the Midwest we were kind of dealing with a little bit of storm and some rain action, but thankfully it held off for the majority of the 4th of July festivities. But man, the weather's been fantastic. It's been nice and hot and warm. And look, have spent the last few days completely losing our minds over front office execs swapping superstars across the Eastern Conference in the NBA, but I'm officially hitting the brakes on the trade machine. It's time to move past the Paul George and Jason Tatum talking points because real, live, actual basketball is officially being played right now via the Summer League. The California Classic and the Salt Lake City Summer League tipped off over the holiday weekend. And the tape is already providing some massive structural answers about the future of this league. So, I'm going to be taking a microscope look at the opening wave of Summer League action, and I'm going to be talking about some high-profile debuts of the top rookies, the second-year guys looking way too good to be playing in July, and the latest under-the-radar standouts. But before the young guys get their shine, we have to talk about the massive looming cloud over this entire league right now. Because LeBron James is still sitting at home. He's on the open market. So let's jump right into this episode. Let's address the king before we slide into the rookies. We are multiple days into free agency, and LeBron James is still the most significant unsigned entity in professional sports. Rich Paul, his agent, has openly admitted that they are in a massive, deliberate fact-finding mode right now. He literally pulled out a physical whiteboard on a podcast a couple of days ago detailing a 10 to 12 team board that ranges from the 76ers and Heat to the Nuggets, T-Wolves, and Cavaliers. But here's the real nuance on why this is dragging out until the league moratorium officially lifts tomorrow on July 6th. LeBron isn't looking for a max contract. He's looking at cap geometry. Just think about it. Rich Paul dropped a bombshell admitting that if the Knicks had not just won the NBA championship last month, LeBron would likely already be signed and packed for MSG. But because they won it all, he doesn't want to look like he's chasing a pre-made ring. Instead, you have to look at the Philadelphia 76ers right now. They have successfully executed that monster Jaylen Brown acquisition to pair with Maxey and Joel Embiid and VJ Edgecombe. They are aggressively pitching LeBron on being their final piece. Golden State is still lurking with their $15 million non-taxpayer exemption, and Cleveland has the ultimate narrative pull. Expect the final decision to hit the wire within the next 24 to 48 hours, but the delay is purely about LeBron verifying which roster can actually weaponize his basketball IQ at this stage of his career, which I think you also have to put the Nuggets in there, and the Timberwolves. Both those teams would love a high IQ guy like LeBron, and you put Anthony Edwards and LeBron together, jeez, Jokic and LeBron? Yeah, I'll watch their games almost every night. But while LeBron's at home, watching from the sidelines, the future has officially arrived. Let's talk about the absolute, fireworks from the opening slate of Summer League games, starting with the two most highly anticipated professional debuts in the country, Cam Boozer and Darryn Peterson. If you had any doubts about how Boozer's game would translate out of the gate, you can throw them directly into the trash. He looked like an absolute seasoned veteran. The physical profile is what hits you first. He already possesses the frame and contact absorption of a 5-year NBA vet. He was demanding the ball in the low post, orchestrating short roll playmaking, and defensively holding down the paint with elite verticality. He didn't just play well, he completely dictated the pace of the game. And then over in the California Classic, Darryn Peterson put on an absolute clinic on elite perimeter shooting. His footwork in isolation and his comfort operating in the middle of pick and roll actions looked completely effortless. He has that rare patient pacing where defenders simply cannot speed him up. And what stood out most on the film for both about Boozer and Peterson was the complete absence of rookie panic. They didn't force bad looks, they processed defensive coverages instantly, and they completely lived up to the massive billing. But the Summer League isn't just about the top lottery selections. It's about the sophomore players showing that massive developmental leap and a couple of under-the-radar guys who are playing like they belong on a standard roster right now. So first up, we have to talk about Olivier Maxent Prosper. The Memphis Grizzlies completely steamrolled Oklahoma City 111-74, and Omax was the best player on the floor. He dropped a team-high 17 points, grabbed 5 boards, and dished out 3 assists. His defensive energy was completely suffocating, and his athletic downhill driving lane showed a massive confidence boost compared to what we saw out of him last year. He looks way too advanced for this competition level. Over on the West Coast in Sacramento, the Milwaukee Bucks knocked off the Warriors Blue Squad 97-83, and Brandon Boston Jr. completely took over the offensive tape. He cooked them for 17 points, showcased fluid pull-up shooting and deep range while hunting active defensive plays with 2 steals. And also, I want to give a shout out to Kyra Lewis Jr. playing for that same Milwaukee team. He added in his 14 points on a highly efficient 6 of 9 shooting and dropped a beautiful lob to Marovic on a pick and roll transition late in the 4th. On the Warriors side, despite their loss, the other Nembhard in the league, Andrew Nembhard's little brother, Ryan, looked incredibly sharp running the point. He finished with a team-high 15 points and 3 assists, demonstrating that classic Nembhard family high IQ floor leadership. These are the guys putting real film on tape for coaching staffs to look at when training camp battles open up in September. But listen, the summer circuits are officially underway. We're just now about a month and a couple weeks from football. The young talent is putting the league on absolute notice right now, and the King is preparing to make his final choice, his last decision of his career. Hoop season never truly ends, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Based on the first weekend of tape, which rookie or sophomore stood out the most to you? Are you a believer in the Cam Boozer era, or did Brandon Boston Jr. catch your attention? And give me your final definitive guess on where LeBron signs tomorrow or Tuesday. But make sure you hit that subscribe button on Spotify and YouTube. Also follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Still posting some reels every now and then, but appreciate you guys chilling with me today. Enjoy your start to the week. Still, we're in summer. Try to enjoy it as much as you can. Keep living in the tape, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.